This is the plaintiff, John Maynard. He says he was walking his 45-pound dog, Mingus, when they were attacked by the defendant's two unleashed pit bulls. The two dogs had Mingus in a death grip and shook him back and forth with a killer shake. Thank God he was able to pull the two dogs off of Mingus before he was murdered. Now, Mingus is scared of other dogs. He has all sorts of vet bills and is suing the uncaring defendant for $4,500, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Brunilda Lozada. She says she opened her door one day and found a note from the plaintiff informing her of a dog attack. But he also stated his dog was uninjured with no physical or internal injuries. His own vet even indicated there were no injuries. If the plaintiff thinks he's going to extort her for almost $5,000, well, he's going to be in for a surprise because she's not giving him a penny. She's accused of releasing the Hounds.
John Maynard?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Brunilda Lozada?
Yes.
For $4,500 in damages that you say she owes you because her dogs attacked your dog.
That is correct.
What happened?
On January 4th this year, around 5:45 in the evening, I took my dog Mingus out for a walk. She was on a leash, as she's supposed to. As I came around a bend in my apartment complex, I saw some children playing up the ways. It was getting dark. There was a dog out there with them. There was also a couple of maintenance members sitting in a golf cart watching them. As I got closer, suddenly a second dog came around the building. This was a tan pit bull mix type, about 10 to 15 pounds heavier than Mingus. She's about 45 pounds.
All this is in your apartment complex?
In my apartment complex, yes. And then suddenly the second dog, the black dog, also joined in, and they just went at her. They were grabbing at anything. They were giving what's known as the death shake. They'd get hold of skin and do that, which is a dog trying to break another animal's neck. I've walked dogs professionally for years. I know animal behavior fairly well. These dogs were trying to kill her. And because she was between my legs, they were also going after me. They'd get hold of my pant leg and pull on that. They'd get a hold. Thankfully, she had a neckerchief around her neck that they got hold of a few times and ripped that up, and her collars and stuff. But they didn't seem to do any serious damage. While I was trying to get these two dogs off of her, I looked up and I noticed that the two maintenance workers were sitting in their golf cart just watching like 10 feet away. These people are doing nothing to help me. I finally get the pit bull off, give it a kick to the side, and it does not rejoin the fight. I give a back heel kick to the other dog, the lab mix, and it goes away. I managed to drag my dog away with saying a couple of unpleasant things to the two maintenance guys for not helping out, and they were like, hey, we don't like dogs, don't want to get bit. But it's like you couldn't dial a phone and call the police or something. Anyway, I got the dogs off of my dog. I got her over to a more lighted place, tried to check her for injuries, explained to the building manager.
Did you see any?
Not that I could see there. Now, I have familiar pictures of Mingus in the first place to show you folks.
Did you call animal control?
I called animal control. I filed a complaint with them. I told them I was going to try to find out about the owners.
Do you have the animal control report?
Yes, I do have that as well.
May I see that?
Certainly.
Your dog is beautiful.
I think so, too.
Who's the other dog? Your dog, too?
That is my older dog. It passed away a year ago tomorrow.
What kind of dog is Mingus?
Mingus is a shepherd mix. I have no idea what the other mix is. Never mattered that much to me. She's a sweetheart regardless.
Sweetheart. It happened on January 4th?
Right.
The officer wrote down that UN maintenance workers separated the dogs and you crossed out the maintenance workers.
Well, later on you'll see that I requested them change that because I wasn't sure of what other actions I might have to follow. So how do you
find out? The kids find the phone number on the tag, they call her, they give you the phone number, and through that way you trace her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you talk to her, what do you say to her?
Well, first of all, I left a note at her door letting her know what happened. This was about the third day after the incident. Now, I've also been noting since then that every day after this incident, my dog Mingus, who up until then has vomited in her 6 years of existence 2 to 3 times in her life.
Has what?
Vomited. Now she's vomiting every day at least once and twice on some days, and she's a different dog.
Okay, Mr. Maynard, when you leave the note, does she call you back?
No. I left no information about myself.
Did you ever talk to her?
On the 8th, I did go and talk to her.
And what happened in that conversation?
I'd been to the vets and gotten Mingus tested and gotten medication for her and everything. And
But you went to the vet on the 9th? right?
No, on the 8th.
On the 8th? Okay.
And
So-
I brought copies of a visit that I'd done the Monday before the attack because I had Mingus checked for heartworm medication. And then I brought this bill for what I had to pay on the 8th after her dogs attacked my dog. And
okay, but what happened? What was the result of the dog attack? I'm not understanding. You said that the dogs were trying to kill your dog,
yes,
fighting for your life. You know animal behavior. They were trying to kill her. They had a death grip on her. They had ripped into her. They were biting everything they could bite, and they ripped her back and forth and back and forth. I'm assuming that you went to the vet that day and that there were 17 stitches or something. You're telling me you didn't go to the vet until 4 days later, and it was for vomiting?
Well, because there were
but weren't there any wounds?
There were no external injuries. No, there were not.
Weren't there internal injuries?
I wasn't sure about that.
No, I know, but when you went to the vet said there were no internal injuries.
I'm trying to say, no, there was no sign of internal injuries, but that doesn't mean the dog was not affected by the attacks.
So the dog was affected psychologically?
Well, the dog was upset. She was vomiting. She was behaving differently on her walk.
Hand me the vet reports from before and the vet reports from after. How do you first learn that your dog, you have two, a pit bull and a pit bull mix?
A pit bull and a pit bull mix.
Why is it always a pit bull that breaks loose? Why is that? It tells me something about the people who own the pit bulls, not the pit bull. They're an animal. Well, why did your dogs get loose?
Okay, I've had them for 6 years. I was at work. My mom had let them out in the back fenced backyard. Apparently there was a hole. They got out.
But how do you have a hole in a backyard when you own a pit bull?
Well, it wasn't a hole. It was patched up.
How many times have your dogs gotten out?
Maybe once or twice.
Once or twice?
Right.
When I look you up, how many times am I going to see complaints?
Once before this.
And what was the complaint? That your dogs got out?
The last time they got out, a mailman was going
somebody?
through. No, never have been anybody.
What was the complaint? Just that they got out?
Yes, they got out. I guess they went after a mailman. And they put
the mailman. Oh, they're so unreasonable, those mailmen. They expect to be pit bull free. All right. And then how long earlier was that?
This was like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
So how was there a hole and you didn't know?
Well, there was a patch. There was a hole that was with wires. And apparently they pulled on it and got out.
Maybe you need to spring for a new fence.
Right. I think so.
You think?
Yes.
Have you?
I did fix that patch, but
your patch fixing leaves something to be desired. Because that's how the dogs got out this time, through a botched patch, right?
It's going to get fixed.
What you need to do is spring for a new fence before you have to spring for, 2 weeks in the hospital for a little kid. I mean, do you understand? Does it matter that your dogs can't keep getting out?
No, I understand that.
Well, I don't know. Because, see, if somebody who understands that goes out and figures out a way to pay for a new fence that does not have patches in it so that the dogs won't get out. And if you can't do it because you can't afford it, somebody needs to take your dogs away from you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
So are pit bulls too dangerous for people to own?
No, not at all.
Why?
Because I believe that they are misrepresented as a breed, and I think the owners are part of the problem.
We've had more pit bull cases with pit bull attacks than any dog times 10 in the people's court. Is that an issue? I mean, are these dogs just more dangerous?
They're more dangerous by the history that they have behind them, but it's more the animal and how they're trained, not necessarily.
So you think it's the people, not the dog?
It's the owner's responsibility to make sure the dogs aren't dangerous.
And they're not inherently dangerous dogs?
No.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I have some difficulty with the way you have described the ferocity of a pit bull attack and there not being a single puncture wound. I'm worried about your ability to relay the events accurately.
I'm sorry if that seems unbelievable, but there are cases where dogs just get hold of things, they rip, they're not biting, but they're doing the death shake.
There's no way you can do a death shake without a grip, and the grip involves teeth, and the teeth are sharp, and the teeth are punctured. She also had a collar on, a halter collar, which is where they were biting at as well, and she had on a bandana, and they were gripping those as well. Do you have those?
No. At the time when this initially happened, I wasn't thinking of a lawsuit. I went and replaced items, some things like the halter and the leash that I need to get replaced because of her becoming much more aggressive in approaching dogs.
Well, now we do have a lawsuit, and let's talk about what you're suing for. You're suing for the vet bill. You're suing for pepper spray and a walking stick. Tell me about that.
Pepper spray to fend off any dog attacking, walking stick to fend off any other dog that's attacking.
And a stun gun?
And a stun gun as well, because the day I bought the pepper spray, a friend of mine told me, well, you can pepper spray your own dog by mistake. A stun gun's a little better.
So you want her to pay for the pepper spray and the stun gun?
I would not have bought these things if I had not had my dog attacked by her dogs who lived a mile away from me.
You're suing for a halter collar and leash. Do you have any evidence for the amounts you're saying? Like, can I see your receipts for them?
I did not keep the receipts for them because at the time I was not thinking of a lawsuit.
$4 for a red bandana.
That was torn in the attack.
Sweatpants.
My
$55 for sweatpants? What kind of
Yes.
sweatpants are you wearing?
The kind you sweat in.
Cute. Because I sweat in sweatpants that aren't $55.
I'm just replacing what I lost, ma'am.
That's fine. Give me proof of $55.
Again, it was stuff that was bought the day after the accident. I was not planning a lawsuit. I did not save the receipts.
Okay, $55 is a lot for sweatpants. I'd like to see evidence that you needed to buy new sweatpants, evidence that you bought new sweatpants, and evidence that the sweatpants were $55. Do you find that unreasonable?
No. But
Okay, well then was there a reason to say sweatpants you sweat in to me? Because I don't think that what I'm asking are unreasonable when you take a $416 vet bill and turn it into over 10 times that amount in a lawsuit, because you're certainly thinking lawsuit now. Gas and mileage, $250 for what?
It's just a lot of driving that I've been going through, dealing with all this stuff, and for the mileage, for the copy cost and everything. Plus, I mean,
Do you have receipts for copy costs or mileage or anything to justify the $250?
I don't have receipts for mileage. I don't have
Lost
receipts
wages,
for copy costs.
$750. What do you do for a living?
I am an actor at a murder mystery dinner theater. I am an actor in film and TV as well. The nights of the attack, the night that I presented the letter to, the bill to Ms. Lozada, and today I am missing out on jobs.
Okay,
that
I
were
need you to
assigned
prove now that you lost $750 in wages, that you had a job, that the job would have paid X, and that you couldn't attend the job.
The people that employ me, the owners of the company, are on vacation. They were unreachable. When I went to the person who's in charge, he was unwilling to give me a binding document.
And then $2,759.25 for stress and duress.
Because I'm looking to the fact that I'm probably going to have to move out of my apartment complex, breaking my lease because of the experiences this attack
And
has.
that's her fault?
Because, well, none of this would have come up if my dog had not been attacked by her dogs. I also am looking at the fact that the dog that I had is not the dog I have now.
Yeah, but let me explain something to you. What the law permits is what you are able to prove occurred as a result of this. That means causation in a legal sense, not causation in a pumped up, trumped up, crazy sense. And with all due respect, this is really pumped up. I mean, you're asking for $750 for a job that you can't prove, $250 for gas and mileage that you can't prove. You're asking for stuff that you didn't buy because it's necessary, but you didn't buy it. You're asking for, you know, I mean, this is a little peculiar. Then you describe, and let me tell you something. I have no tolerance for escaping pit bulls. If you've ever watched The People's Court, you know that. No tolerance for it. As far as I'm concerned, you are so on notice now that should the slightest little thing happen, you should lose everything you own to the next person who is a victim of this problem with your dogs getting out. And as a matter of fact, I am going to call animal control because I find it reprehensible that you have not yet fixed that gate. So you will be fixing that gate. And it will not be some patch job that doesn't hold up. Having said that, you have to prove as a plaintiff in court causation. That's legal causation, not, hey, those dogs came, they scared my dog, and now I want $4,000. It means what you are out. The only thing, of all the things you've told me, you've even shown me proof of, is the vet bill. The vet bill, here's your argument. I took her a few days earlier, and everything was fine, and now 4 days after the event, everything's not fine, Judge, because she's throwing up. If it's a result of a vicious pit bull dog attack that you've described, okay, I need to know you're not just acting now. I need to know that actually happened. And the way a person sees that happened is by looking at the extensive vet report that talks about puncture wounds and stitches and drainage and infection and all the other things that would be as a result of an attack. If you're saying to me, Judge, nothing else has happened in Mingus's life, so I feel that it was the stress of being approached nastily by those two escaping dogs, I am not going to sit here and split hairs on the psychological makeup of Mingus. It's a dog. I have to know that what happened is a direct result of her negligence. Her negligence is the dog's getting out. And all you can do is say to me, well, she's not a vomiter. How do we know that your dog didn't eat? I have a dog. If my dog eats something she's not supposed to eat, there's gonna be vomit. It's not rocket science. How do I know that your dog did not in fact just eat a buffalo frog? I don't know what your dog, how do I know that that didn't happen? 4 days passed. 4 days passed. There's not a word in the doctor's report about a dog attack. How is that something I'm going to turn around and say that's because your dogs got out? I just can't. You can't prove your case. My verdict is for the defendant.
All right, just hold on right there, please.
So the plaintiff leaves the courtroom empty-handed. What's your first thought coming out?
My first thought is I'm not happy at all. I don't think the judge has a fair understanding of what affects an animal.
Well, how about hearing the judge say that she's going to send this case to animal control?
That's great, but I'm out of money that I cannot afford to lose, and all she gets is that she eventually has to go around to fixing her fence. I'm glad she's doing that. That's the least responsible thing she should have done years ago when the dogs broke out in the first place, but she didn't do it. I, however, am out of some money that I don't get back, and I'm broke. Thank you.
So come on in here. The judge wasn't too happy with the way you handle your dog either.
They didn't escape from the same place, but I understand.
So what are you going to do about it?
I am going to fix the fence. She can send the animal services because it's going to be fixed.
Okay, Harvey.
So if you live in an area where there's an irresponsible pet owner, call your local Department of Animal Regulation. They will come out, investigate, and in extreme cases, they can remove the dog from the neighborhood. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.